I had such grandiose ideas for this house, but let me just tell you straight away, none of those grandiose ideas came to fruition with the things that I had to use. Hello YouTube, my name is sezrawrr and welcome back to my build series I have in The Sims 4, where I build houses in the shapes of different letters of the alphabet. Because the thing is, guys, I'm not good at building houses in The Sims 4, so I make silly builds on purpose. So my alphabet build series that I have has a little bit of a twist on it, because yes, the houses are in the shapes of different letters of the alphabet, but to add a little extra flair to it, I also use build and buy options in the catalogue whose titles start with that same letter of the alphabet. So for example, today we're up to the letter I. So my house is going to be in the shape of the letter I, but all of the furniture, all of the flooring, the wallpaper, the windows, the doors are all going to start with the letter I in the catalogue. It makes me use things that I would never normally use, so it's a little fun extra twist. I love it. So this is the letter I from top down, very basic to build. We do have the floor plan, so I was thinking of making this a two-story house, but I decided not to do that just because this block of land is a very long block of land. Now I know it doesn't look like it from here, but this room is massive. Like, this whole block is huge. I mean, compare it to the letter D house that I've got just right here next door. So this is a very long house, which is why I picked this block, because the I is so thin. I could just put it on this really long, thin block. So the entryway is going to be down here, and this is going to be a lounge room. You walk into the lounge room. We've got a kid's bedroom here. I end up having two kids sharing a bedroom. We've got a bathroom here, and we walk up the hallway here into this kitchen space. This was originally supposed to be like a home office, but I end up deleting that wall and making it a dining room. This is the main bedroom, so parents would sleep in here, which is why it's so freaking big. And then this is the ensuite bathroom, and then this room here was originally going to be like a walk-in closet. I had such grandiose ideas for this house, but let me just tell you straight away, none of those grandiose ideas came to fruition with the things that I had to use. So I knew, being the letter I, that we were probably going to have a lot of industrial this and industrial that for our furniture, for our flooring, walls, all that stuff. And I was really, really excited because I was like, this is going to be a super sleek, super modern build, very black, really, really nice. And then I was so incredibly disappointed immediately by the flooring options we've had. I know you've seen me put it out. We've got a lot of sheet metal for the flooring. We've got one tile for the bathrooms and the kitchen, and we've got the most ugly linoleum I have ever seen in my entire life. It is just horrific. Anyway, thankfully the wallpapers were great, the windows were great, the doors were okay, they functioned, so that's all that matters. But unfortunately, some of the furniture options also weren't quite what I was hoping for. So my plan for what I had in my head for this build immediately went out the door, and I just wanted to try and do my best to cover up the options that I had to use, because they are the only ones that start with the letter I that aren't ideal to use. So specifically the linoleum, I really wanted to cover that up. So we had this like photo studio thing that starts with the letter I. It came with Get to Work, I'm pretty sure. So I used that to cover up the linoleum, and that is when we stopped having a walk-in closet in the main bedroom and we started having a photo studio in the main bedroom, because I just needed to cover that up. It is hideous. You cannot change the swatches. That is the only swatch it comes in. This green and yellow swatch. It is hideously ugly. One thing I do have to say though, and I'm just going to say this while you're watching me, like, this speed build is kind of all over the place, because I was all over the place when I was doing it. I had no idea where to start to try and make this work. I just needed to try and follow one cohesive idea at a time, even though it wasn't one room at a time. So the blinds are what I'm working on at the moment. These curtains are the only ones that start with the letter I. I do just want to say though, one thing I really love about The Sims 4 and about just The Sims in general, you can really build any kind of thing you want. You could build like a warehouse, you could build like a bunker, you could build a restaurant, you can build a hospital, you can build so many different kinds of things. and they have these options that work perfectly for those things, like the sheet metal flooring in like a warehouse, you know, like, or like a bunker, you know, they work for those kinds of things. But they just don't work in this build, unfortunately. But it is one of the reasons why I love The Sims 4 and why I love this series. It makes me use things that I would never normally use. So I don't even know. We're still doing the freaking curtains. I know you probably will have seen me struggle with these curtains because the snapping on them was so incredibly annoying to try and place them with these windows. It was a nightmare. It took me so long. I actually cut a bit of it out because it was just taking me for freaking ever. So once I got the curtains done, I decided to focus a little bit more into the kids' room because I did actually like the way that it turns out. It came out really nicely in the end once it's fully decorated. But even with what you've just seen of it, it does not look as bad as it originally did when I first had the flooring in there. The thing that sucks about this build the most for me in the long run is the bathrooms. There's just no more that I could do with them. Even after they're decorated, there wasn't any more that I could really do with them. The rest of the house, I kind of got used to it by the time I'd finished building. I got used to the sheet metal flooring. I got used to only having this one tile that only has 3 swatches. I got used to everything else, but I just could not get used to the bathrooms because there is nothing for them. They are so ugly in the end. I apologize. There's just nothing more I could do. It's a real shame because I actually don't mind the rest of this house in the long term. It's just, yeah. Anyway, I know you're seeing me struggle with the bar and stuff. I ended up scratching the bar completely. One thing I did notice though with this bar, the swatches that are on it aren't quite right. Like there was this swatch that was like black and white and it was like brown and beige. And I'm like, but how does that even work? That's not the right swatch anyway. That's not really important, but it's just something I wanted to mention because it was something that I sat there for a couple seconds going, wait, what is going on here? Am I delusional from this build that is very strange? Has it affected my brain capacity? I can't comprehend the swatch of this bar. Anyway, I got rid of it. It's fine. So the lounge room ends up being one of my favorite rooms. I also really love the kids' room. I don't mind the main bedroom. It's just a little bit too big, I think, is my issue. But my absolute favorite part of this whole build is something you're not even going to be able to see in this speed build. We're going to tour my build and you will see it in that. But it's the landscaping and the outside. I absolutely love the outside of this house with the landscaping that I did for it. Once everything's all decorated, we've got outdoor furniture. It all came together so nicely for the outside. It's just such a shame that some of the choices I had to make in this house were just so unconventional and a little bit abstract, and they're very odd. You wouldn't see the flooring in a residential house. That linoleum, I'm looking at it now, it is so hideous. I'm so glad I was able to cover it up. So we do still have kind of the modern vibes that I was hoping for, in that we've got a lot of darker stuff on the inside, which is nice. The sheet metal is dark, so that's nice, and the wallpaper's all really dark. The furniture itself, I used as many dark pieces as I could. So that is the end of the speed build. Wow, I showed you pretty much nothing except my struggles. So I showed you my struggles, the part that was hard, but I now get to show you the finished build, which was the decorating really just tied it all together. Really made me feel a whole lot better about this build, because after what you've just seen, I was like, oh my god, this is really, really bad. But one thing I have to remember about this alphabet build series is it's supposed to be silly. It's not supposed to be good. It's just supposed to be functional. So I feel like this is the first house we've had in the alphabet series though that has been truly a little bit strange. Like throughout it, it's all very strange. But with that being said, I am going to take you on a tour of the finished letter I, so let's jump back into The Sims 4. So here is the front of the letter I house. Now, the landscaping from the front is pretty basic. I promise you the side yards, because there's 2 side yards in this house, they look a whole lot nicer, but this is just the front. So when you walk through the door, this is what you see. You see the big long hallway down the kitchen to the dining room. We've got the otter like painting on the wall. I love that. Thankfully, we did have a lot of art. Breaks up the darkness of it quite nicely. Some quite colorful art, which is really, really nice. So to the left, we have we've got the living room space here with the fireplace, with the TV on the wall. I actually really like this space. I think it's really cute and kind of cozy. I hate the curtains. Just ignore the curtains is going to be one of my things I'm going to say throughout this whole build is please just ignore the curtains. So that is the living space, but then to the right, this is the kids' room. So let's have a quick look inside. So this is what you see. You're greeted with the mirror and the chest of drawers. We've got a little study nook off to the side there, and we've got a bed tucked back in the corner there against the windows. We do have a little TV nook as well. I actually really like this space with the decal on the wall, the big tall pillar lamp. I wasn't sure where I was going to put that originally, but I think it just looks really nice tucked into that corner. And then over the other side, we've got another little bed tucked in the corner there. So back out into the hallway though, and we'll start making our way down. I don't even want to show you this bathroom, but I feel I have no choice but to show you this bathroom. I apologize because it is so freaking ugly. So this sink is the industrial sink. There is no other sink that starts with the letter I, so I had to use it in the bathroom and in the kitchen. Also, this floor tile, I mentioned it in the speed build, but this floor tile only has 3 swatches. There's this swatch, a navy blue, and like a pinky creamy kind of color that I end up using outside. But when it came to the bathrooms, I mean, I had this shower from Island Living that doesn't have very many swatches. This was the only swatch that had any kind of black in it, and I wanted black because, I mean, we've got black everywhere else in the bathroom. So to match the shower, I had to go with this color floor tile. And then the wall, I just hate it. I hate the bathroom, and there's like no decorations for bathroom as well. This ottoman is the only bathroom decor, so I'm sorry, it's bad, but you just got to go with it. So back down to this part of the hallway, we've got the kitchen here. So just a little tucked off to the side there. The kitchen isn't my favorite, but it's functional, it works, it gets the job done. It's not the worst kitchen that I've ever had to make. I don't think it's even the worst kitchen I've got in this build series. So let's head up to the dining room now. I actually don't mind the dining room so much. So interesting pieces are coming into play here though. These chairs are from Journey to Batu, but I think that they look quite nice with the tables, honestly, and in this space and with this kind of feel, the vibe that's kind of very abstractly industrial. I think that they look quite nice, honestly. We've got this door here which leads to one side yard, and then the other door is actually across from the kitchen that leads to the other side yard. So I will head outside in a second. I just want to get into the main bedroom because you'll see just how freaking massive this room is. Like, this is just where the bed is, and we've still got this entire side. So the rug that's in here is actually a tarp. Actually, it's not a tarp, but it's totally a tarp. And it comes in a couple of different swatches. I didn't mind the black and grey camo. It was the nicest one, so I used it to try and cover as much of the sheet metal flooring in here as possible. Because could you imagine waking up in the morning, you throw your feet off the side of the bed onto cold metal flooring? So no, I'd put the rug there. That would hopefully make it feel a lot better. Anyway, we do have the ensuite bathroom through that door. Again, I don't want to show you it, so I'm putting it off. We're going to show you the little photography studio place. I don't know if this is functional. I don't know if your Sims will be able to walk through there, but honestly, it's just to cover the god-awful, hideous linoleum on the floor. I'm sure it has its place in a build somewhere, just not in this build. I wasn't expecting it. And unfortunately, I do have to show you the ensuite bathroom. Oh god, it's bad. It's worse than the other one, honestly, because it's bigger. Bigger doesn't always mean better. So we've got all of the same furniture as we did in the other bathroom. It's so empty. I apologize. It is hideously ugly and it's empty. It's just so bad. What else could I do though? It's just really, really unfortunate. So we might actually go back to this side yard that's from the dining room here, because don't get me wrong, it's nice, it's not my favorite. So let's head out to this side yard. You're greeted with a picnic table and a little gate, and then we've got tile all the way down here. So I kind of used this side yard as kind of like a utility side yard. This gas generator and this ruined block, like it's kind of mostly to house some utility stuff. And then we've got the gate. So it's pretty basic, but the other side yard is my favorite. I freaking love it. It's one of my favorite things about this house. So let's get outside. And this is what you see when you walk out. You're greeted with an archway that just fits so perfectly with that fence. I'm going to take you this way first. We've got a little dining table, and then up the end there we do have a barbecue as well. So then we've got the other side of the outdoors, and we've got this little seating area, which I freaking love. So we've got this little wooden awning. We've got this archway that came from Island Living, and this little couch. And I just love all the colors. All the colors are so pretty. So we've got some flowers up the back end of the house here. So this is the house from the back, and some more flowers down the side here, and more flowers that lead around to the front of the house. So if for whatever reason you would like to place my letter I house into your game, you can. It will be on the gallery. My gallery ID is sezrawrr, the same way it's spelt here, and it will be under letter I house. Unfortunately, I have used a lot of packs, and that's because I'm filtering through the entire game to try and find the build items, the furniture, all of that stuff that starts with these specific letters of the alphabet. So I don't actually expect anyone to download these houses. This video is just for the funny ha-has, and the build itself is just for the funny ha-has. So if you do want to download it, there it is on the gallery. But let me share with you some screenshots, give the letter I house its moment to shine. You guys, that's all I've got for this video of building a house in the shape of the letter I. Definitely completely different vibes in the end to what I was expecting, but honestly, considering some of the things I had to use, really not that bad. I feel like the decorating really brought it all together. Thank goodness we had so many different rug choices, so many different art pieces. That being said, the next letter is going to be the letter J, and I'm very intrigued. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that. So if you want to find out how that's going to turn out, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell next to it to be notified of every time that I upload. And if you liked this video, let me know by hitting the like button down below and leave me a comment as well. Let me know which room of my letter I house was your favorite. I really liked the living room, I liked the kids' bedroom, and I absolutely loved the outdoor spaces. I really love the decorating I did for outside. I think it just really makes this house feel a lot nicer than what it actually is. But guys, I hope you're having the greatest day ever, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!